What's up, everybody? Jay Leone back here again today. Today I got another video review for you. Today we're going to be looking at the Augvape Mini or the Merlin Mini RTA. This RTA is a little special because it comes with options for mouth to lung and direct lung. A lot of these RTAs are coming with these different restrictor pieces basically, which I'll show you in the close-up here. So basically you can use it in mouth to lung or direct lung mode, so which is nice. I'll tell you if it actually does either any good. As we go through this video here, we're going to break it apart and look at everything. Before we start doing all that, let me give you some specs really quick. It's $29.99. I got mine from vapordna.com. Comes in stainless or black. Quick specs for you. It's 24mm in diameter. You have a single coil deck and a dual coil deck. You get a 2mm airflow condenser and a 1.5mm airflow condenser. And I'll show you both those in the close-up. Top fill, you know. It's made of 304 stainless steel. Comes with a Delrin drip tip, 6mm bore, and it's a 2 ml capacity as far as the juice goes. And it's got a gold-plated brass 510 contact. So that's a little bit of the quick specs on it. Really quick, I'm going to go over the mouth-to-lung mode because that's how I have it set up right now. I'm using it in a mouth-to-lung mode now. I got the 2mm restrictor piece in there. There's the 1.5 and the 2mm. I'm using the 2mm, which is the biggest one that comes with it. And I got a 70-30 juice, 14 watts, 1.15 ohm coil, single coil. And as far as my airflow goes, you can't see it because it's shininess. I'll show you, but it's pretty much all the way closed, to be honest with you. I've opened the airflow all the way. It's a little too loose for mouth to lung. You can still mouth to lung it though. If you want a really tight draw, use that smaller 1.5mm restrictor. I find it too tight with that one, so I put the 2mm in there and I just nip the airflow down pretty much almost all the way closed. I leave a very smidgen open. And it's a satisfying mouth-to-lung draw. It does really well mouth-to-lung, to be honest with you. We'll go over that a little more. I just want to show you how how the performance is in that mode. It does produce good vapor in mouth-to-lung. So let's head right down to the table. Alright, everybody. So here we are up close and personal with the Merlin Mini RTA. Here's the packaging it comes in. It does have an authenticity thing here, or a QR code thing that you have to rip off to open. Comes in a crown-esque box. Top just comes off. And inside you will find your Allen key. You'll find your tank. Underneath that you'll find another tube with some spare parts, which we'll go over in a minute, a spare glass. And then down at the bottom here you will also find your second deck. You have a dual coil deck and a single deck. We will look at all those. And like I said, spare glass in there. And you'll get a spare bag of O-rings here. You get a couple extra screws. In that spare bag, I have removed them. You do also get these reducer pins, basically. They got a little slit on them so you can take them in and out with a flathead. They'll thread into this. They'll thread into the single coil deck. You can see how tiny that is there. This will give you a nice, tight mouth-to-lung draw. Here's the other one side by side, so you can see the difference. So there you go. You got a little bit, really tiny one, which, by the way, is super tight. Too tight for even me for mouth-to-lung. I like a looser mouth-to-lung. This second one here that I'm moving with my hand, that one's more of an ideal mouth-to-lung for me, but I could see some people definitely liking the smaller one. Really up to you. If you do want to use it in mouth-to-lung mode, you do have the option, which is nice. So those do come with it. And also you're going to get the tank, obviously. And yeah, there it is. You got adjustable airflow here on the bottom. My tank on. I just cleaned it, so excuse the condensation. So you do have adjustable airflow. It is rather smooth. Whatever you do on one side, you will do on the opposite. You can close it all the way off if you choose. It does stop one direction and it stops the other direction. I do have a 510 connection here. Pin protrudes just a little bit. It does say Augvape, and it does have a serial number here on the bottom. It's got this mirrory stainless finish to it, so it's really shiny. I actually like the look of it. It does come in black also. You have a 510 drip tip here at top. It is a very comfortable drip tip for direct lunging. For mouth to lunging, I would have liked a smaller bore or just a smaller tip in general to come with this, to be honest with you. But there you go. It does taper down to that size, which, you know, double O-ring and everything. And then you have, yeah, some people are saying it has juice flow control. You know what? I guess it does. You have to see how you can see that opening up there, and I could close that off like that. What you're doing is you're unscrewing the tank from the base when you do this. I have never had an issue with it. I always leave it just like that, and juice still is able to get through. There's actually space, and I use an 80/20 in this, and it's wicked fine closed up like that. So it has juice flow control. You could say that, but I haven't found the need to use it because even closed, there's still space for juice to get through. You can kind of see it if you know what I'm talking about. But alright, so then let's take this further apart here. The top will unscrew. This is how you fill it. So you got Merlin there, so it makes it a little easier grip. That comes off. Then you have big gigantic juice slots here, so you can just dump your juice right in there. And then the base obviously comes off also. Threads aren't too bad on this actually, quite nice. And then you'll have your deck. I'm using the single coil deck. Space Clapton coil, which I need to clean. It's a little dirty. And yeah, you can see that big air hole down there. That's where you would thread your insert in. I don't want to take this coil out, but you would thread your insert down into there. And it's just a 2-post. You got 2 holes here, and they use the Allen key that's included. Very simple, very simple. Wicks basically just drop down, and you kind of sit them right in this little hole here. There's these 2 little holes on each side. I'll show you in the dual coil deck because it's very similar. You just sit them in there, and you don't want to fill it up and jam it in there. You just want them to sit in there so you can see them from the side just nicely like that. I haven't had an issue with wicking on this. Now to unscrew your deck, you're just going to grip it and turn. And there we go. We got the deck unscrewed. You'll see your pin here, and you can take that and set that aside. Now here is the dual coil deck. It's a velocity style deck. You got your terminals here, which use the Allen keys on both sides. You have the airflow down the center. You cannot use the inserts on the dual coil deck. They're only for the single coil deck. And same concept. You're basically going to put your coil on this side, your coil on this side. We've seen this deck very often, folks. Then you'd put your cotton on this side, cotton on there, and same thing on the opposite side. And you're going to see you have a hole there, a hole there, a third hole there, and a fourth hole here. That's where you want your cotton resting, right against that hole, so it absorbs and wicks to your coil. Very simple, very simple. So if you want to use that, you just screw that right in. Now, if you guys want, I can do a separate video showing you how to build both decks for either mode. It's rather simple, but if you do want me to make a video, I will gladly make it. If the requests are there, I will make a separate video on how to wick and put a coil in these 2 different decks. But for this time, since I don't want to make this video super long, we're going to take the single coil deck that I already have wicked up and juicy as all hell. Just tighten that in there, and we're going to attach it to our tank. A little squeaky when you get those threads started, but then it goes away. And then we're going to take some juice and just fill this up. You could close down the airflow too while you're doing this if you want. I don't. I just leave everything open. I haven't had any issues with, off camera, dry hits or leakiness or anything like that. And once you're done with that, just take your top cap. The top cap does have an O-ring here. So you kind of sit it on there and push down, and you'll feel it get in there and snap in. And then you just thread it in the rest of the way. And it does thread it. And by the way, I didn't mention, the tank does come apart completely. The glass separates from the rest of it. You could actually take the chimney out and everything. I didn't go that far to do it, but it's not very difficult. You just got to unscrew the whole thing. So we got it filled up. Pop our drip tip back in, which is a snug fit, and that is it. We're ready to vape. That's it. You're ready to vape. Let's go up top and talk about it a little more. So there you go. You saw it up close and personal, and you saw basically how nice it really is. It's a really small, affordable tank. It's really nice. I really enjoy the vape I get off of it. You may notice a few things are different. I shot the first part of this video like a week ago because I wanted to do my evaluation on the mouth to lung part of it, and now I took another week to review the direct lung part of it. So I may look a little different. I did get I trimmed my hair a little bit in the meantime. Anyways, just in case you're wondering. So how is it in direct lung mode? Single coil and dual coil modes. Decks are great. They're easy to build on. We're familiar with these decks. Wicking them is not that difficult whatsoever. They're quite a joy to build on, to be honest with you. Working with these and using these has been great. I have not put this down. I've used this daily now. Do I like it better in mouth to lung or direct lung mode? I think it's a better direct lung tank than it is a mouth to lung tank, and the reason I say that is because of the drip tip. Yes, I could put any drip tip on there, but it just doesn't look right with this thing. The littler drip tips do not look right with this. This nice one that came with it, it looks really good. I wish they would have included a smaller bore or just a smaller tip that would have looked good with this for those mouth to lung vapors, because I am a mouth to lung vapor primarily. So those are just my opinions on this. It is a great mouth to lung tank also. It does it both pretty well. I found that the airflow for me, I couldn't get a comfortable setting on it. That was one of the things that deterred me a little bit. I'm very picky on my airflow. My K-Funds, I have them just right, and that's why I love the K-Funds, the older K-Funds. So yeah, those are either too loose with the smaller pin, and no matter what I did on the collar, it seemed to not do anything, to be honest with you. It went from tight to no airflow with the smaller pin. With the second to the larger pin, or the larger adapter, I should say pin, I'm not saying pin, larger airflow adapter, it was too loose wide open, and it was either too loose or closed. I don't find that collar adjustment was doing a whole lot for the airflow, at least again for me. So I prefer it in direct lung mode, but I still think it does a hell of a good job in mouth to lung mode also. Just my 2 cents on it. For the price, hell yes, I would definitely buy this. I would definitely buy it again. I actually bought 2. That's how much I actually love this tank. It's a great little tank. I feel like it goes through a lot of juice. The capacity, it's not great, but I feel like it goes through a good amount of juice. It is a fatter tank, diameter-wise. It's not a 22 millimeter. But it is short and stubby. I love the look of it. I really do, especially with this box. I got it with the VT75 H cigar. It looks really good on there. Yeah, so, yeah. Some quick pros and cons. We'll go over that really quickly. Pros, price point. The styling, the look. I really do like the look of it. The mouthpiece for direct lunging, I think, is very comfortable. I think it's a very comfortable mouthpiece overall. The flavor is really good. Flavor's really good in both modes. The performance, really good. I got it at 32 watts right now on a 0.72 Clapton single coil. And the single coil deck, I will say I do get a little bit of spit back. That's because the coil is literally direct center of the mouthpiece. And it could be because I'm using a Clapton coil. I get more spit back with those usually. But yeah, a lot of good stuff with this one. Flavor, affordability, looks, comfortability, versatility, because you got the 2 decks. You could use it in 2 different modes. That's nice. You get the spare glass, you get the spare parts, you get the Allen key. All that stuff's good. Cons would be, for me, I'm not even going to mention it as a con because it's really just me being a snob, I guess, or just nitpicky. The airflow just not setting right for me, and the fact that it didn't come with a smaller mouthpiece for the mouth to lung mode. Since you have the capability of doing it, you should also have included the drip tip for it. So really, those are the only 2 cons I have. Everything else about this is stellar. I definitely recommend going out and buying one if you don't have one already. If you do, share your experiences with me because I'd like to know how you're liking it. So yeah, obviously I highly recommend this one. This is a definite winner from Augvape, the Merlin Mini RTA. There's a full-size Merlin out there. I've never used that one, but this one is a winner for me. So, as always, guys, I thank you for watching. I hope you found some of this information helpful. I'll have a description link down here in the corner. Till next, oh wait, hold on. Merry Christmas, by the way, to all that I didn't wish Merry Christmas to, because like I said, my videos, I shoot them way in advance, and then I forget what time it is, and yeah. So Merry Christmas, because that just passed, and Happy New Year to all of you out there, and thank you for all the support over the years, and over the year in general. Just thank you. So yes, everybody, have a good start to the new year, and I'll see you next year. Live well and vape on.